So here we're looking at a project that we've created in Asana. Here I have a project name. I'd like to go ahead and adjust that name. Here I can just simply hit edit the name and put it as project 1. I can also add a description there. In addition, I can go ahead and add a new project. To add a new project, I can just simply select the plus sign, and perhaps we're going to name this one project 2. Notice here we have two options. One is list and one is board. Here behind us on this screen, whoops daisy, here is a board. All right, this allows me to drag and move these columns around. I can rename these columns, very handy. But here I want to add a list. So let's go ahead and just put in project 2, select list and say add. Now a list allows me to go ahead and add in just a list. So you can see it here. Let's go back and flip to project 1 again, talk a little bit about the differences between these two types of project configurations. This one is pretty nice. It allows me to drag and drop things around. Also, I can click on this down arrow here. I can rename the column, delete the column, do whatever I like. I can also add columns here to add tasks. It's pretty simple. I just add task, task, task. Pretty simple. If I want to move those, I can drag it between, drag it underneath, and then I can also delete it. So all of these, a great idea. I can also select that it's done, and also very good. We can assign dates and people to own those those tasks. Very simple. When we go over to a list here, we're gonna do the same thing, but here we can add sections. So as here we have today and next week as two sections. Just roll your mouse over to the right there and say next day. Okay? And then when you hit enter, it's going to ask you to enter in a task that will be under that section. Let's say I want to add a second section. I can just put here next week. Now, something to remember, so I have a third. Now note that I'm here able to add a task. Let's put one other, and I want to show you something that will happen. So let's just say third week, and I erase, notice I have a colon there. Let's just say I erase that. It immediately turns into a task. Put it back, and it turns back into a section. So just something for you to note that's interesting. Here, notice if I highlight over it, I get those square dots, and I can drag and drop and move, and move these columns anywhere that I want, right? These sections. To add a task, I simply say task 1, task 2, and if I want to add a task here, I do the same thing, task whatever, right? And I can go ahead and drag these tasks into different sections. That's really a basic look at how to create a project, and then how to the two different types of projects, whether we have this type, which is a list, or whether we have this type, which is their board. Both of them really meet the same objective. To rename this project, I go here and I can rename. I can also manage custom fields if I'm a Premier customer. This sample section here does not allow me to do that. I can also add this this project to my dashboard. To do that, I can just hit right there. I'm going to hit view now, and this will give me a list. I can do a status update, for example, on what that's doing, and then it'll show me how many tasks I have assigned and done, and it kind of maps out a little chart here for you. In addition, within this project space, we have the ability to click on conversations. So here we can go ahead and just add something, for example, lunch for training. We can start the conversation, put the @ symbol if we want to call out somebody specific in our organization. They'll be added as a follower here. Or you can, of course, just add followers by clicking on here and adding more here. And this conversation then becomes an active thread that you can watch, very similar to like Slack, something of that nature. You also, within your project, have calendar. Calendar allows you to view the tasks and create tasks on these specific days that you want to. Here, for example, I may put in a task, all right, and assign it to myself. I can here, I have the task, and I can move that then around my calendar if that's something that I desire to do, move it from weeks so I can view it that way. I can also view my progress by updating my status. Notice here I'm starting to get a little bit of a status. I can put in that we're red or whatever and update this and have it remind me, things of that nature. And then if I have any files associated with this project, they're going to appear here. Now, all of these options that we've gone through here, conversation calendar progress, are also available here on our list view as well. They're exactly the same. So that is how you develop new projects and manage through those projects. It's very, very simple with Asana.